the movie and how addiction is in someone's mind, whether it's alcohol or heroin and whatever, that will help you understand the addict a little bit more. Because you watch the movie Lord of the Rings and you see this little ugly thing and you're just like, oh, okay, he's so ugly, he's almost cute. And then you realize his obsession and his desire for that ring, it makes him just like, you're just like, why just stop, man, like you could be so cool, just stop. And he doesn't, he can't, and he ultimately dies. And to be honest, I would like to know if that character, if it was based off of like an alcoholic or an addict or something like that, because it's exactly what we do and how we work. And yeah, he didn't want to be that way. He had moments of clarity, like, I don't want to, or however he talked, and he'd get a little teary eyed, and then he'd fool them, and they turn around and he'd go, like, and that's how we would do too. Like, yeah, I'm never gonna drink again. Yeah, boom, boom, everybody's gone. Yeah, wait for them to get down the road. I'm gonna hit the liquor store again, and they don't know. And boy, I pulled one over on them, didn't I? 2 days later, back in the hospital. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, fooled them. But maybe that's what Jamie's going through too. Is his brain is still just driving him to that, and he doesn't know how to break through that protective shield that our brain has, and maybe he doesn't even realize it's there. That's why I think, he's ex-Marine, or I guess a Marine, but he doesn't participate in the festivities any longer of, I don't know how to say that, a veteran? Okay.
Yeah.
So he would go to he went to a VA hospital a few times, and okay, that's cool. But I don't think that's the same as actual treatment where he can learn about himself and get into his head a little bit, in those places where he doesn't want to go. Therapy can help with that too. But sometimes it's just, understanding yourself, and sometimes it's other people in treatment that will help you.
Absolutely. Oh, I think that is the people that help you the most, is the other people that you're surrounded with when you're in treatment.
Not necessarily that coming up to you going, hey, Marty, this is what you need to do.
No, I'm not saying it like
but
that.
They'll say,
you learn.
Yeah, you do.
Hearing people's stories and thoughts and feelings and how they got through something and how they failed, is something that I took a lot of information from, because I could relate to some stuff. I could listen to a story and be like, I have no relation to that story at all, but it's gave me, you know what I mean? It helped me kind of like look at how people, what people have done in their past that did work and what didn't work, and mostly what didn't work. But you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's what's helpful. And plus there's this connection that you have, when you can relate to people that are struggling just like you are, because they're not trying to BS you. They ain't trying to sell you anything. They don't they get nothing if you listen to them and you get something out of it. There's no benefit at all to them. And so everything that people say, some of it might be BS, some of it might not be, but they're not saying it directly towards you to influence you at all. For them, I would say for the most part. But
and there are people that, and it changes depending on where you go.
Yeah.
But the whole environment of, if you're going to a treatment center, it's going to be different every time, just based on who's in there. If 9 out of 10 people aren't serious about it, and they go on breaks or whatever, and they're out talking about, yeah, man, when I'm going to get effed up, and that's not good. But it could be the other way too, where 9 out of 10 are serious, and that one who wants to get messed up is just shutting up, and
listening, and
and he might get something eventually, but
so true.
But you have to take that into consideration, that some people have gone to treatment before and they'll, yeah, man, that place sucked. Why? They say, well, because there's blood stains all over the mattress, and I'm like, okay, well, I could see that'd be hard to kind of go to bed at night, and the food, man, it had roaches in it. Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be kind of tough to deal with. yeah, probably should maybe look for a different place to go. Then, yeah, sure. But if they're like, well, because, man, it sucked, man. The people there sucked. And, well, okay, well, that's going to change, like, it's going to be a different experience every time you go to treatment. I would know. You would know.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Just a little dream talk tonight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got one thing I want to touch on.
What's up?
I had a friend of mine who's a coworker, and she shared with me that her family in general is not very receptive to her efforts in recovery. So she's sober. She's clean. Her DOC is pills, pain pills, and where I'm going with this is the first conversation we had was about how she's afraid to bring up about how good she's doing or what she's doing for her recovery because her family doesn't even want to really hear anything about it. Mm-hmm. As long as she's just like staying on the straight and narrow. Let's not talk about the past. Let's not even talk about the future. Let's not talk about what's going on with you today. Just don't show us a reason why we should be afraid that you're going to be the old you again kind of thing. So anyway, we talked about that, but moving on is that she ended up texting me because she had to have a surgery done. And it was a outpatient surgery, but it was pretty invasive. It was a hip surgery. And I don't know exactly what all they did, but I know the aftermath was she's bedridden, and she sent me some pictures. It's like, she's got she has to stay off of it, and it's all covered up, and you can tell it's like probably bleeding and underneath. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It looks really painful. Like I was like, ow. But so anyhow, the bottom line of this is that they gave her a prescription, for pain medication. And I don't know people's thoughts on that. See, pain pills, I probably would have. I probably actually would have gone off the deep end with those, but I never actually was presented with that as being something that my body would start getting physically addicted to. But that's a common thing. Mm-hmm. And so and what I think started off with something probably very similar to this surgery, or people have an injury or people have a surgery, and then they get on these pain pills, and then they like how they feel on them, and then they abuse them. Well, she calls me or texts me and tells me she feels terrible because she had taken, 2 of her pills earlier than she was supposed to.
Oh, so she still took them?
She took them. She took them. And she said, I don't really know who to talk. I don't have anybody to talk to about this. And I said, so are you feeling guilty about, and she said, and I'm still in so much pain and I'm still miserable. I called the doctor to see what I should do. And, if I need to go back to the hospital, see if something's wrong, because apparently her sister who's taking care of her has had the same surgery, and there wasn't this much kind of after surgery, I don't know, whatever it is, the aftermath of it was not looking like it was healing like it was supposed to or something. And so I was kind of stuck for a second, because I was like, I don't really know, because I think some people who have had addiction to pain pills just don't take them, right?
Right.
At all.
Yeah, I know people who drink that are like, I'm not taking those pills.
Right.
Or they used to drink. They're like, nope, I'm not going on that road.
But I can't say, if I was addicted to pain pills, I can't say that if I underwent a surgery, or I was in a miserable amount of pain, I was suffering from pain, that I wouldn't take something to make the pain go away. Not booze, because booze isn't meant to take pain away.
My doctors wouldn't give me anything because they knew I was an alcoholic.
Right. So this is a different kind of circumstance. The story is the story. It's not made up. So, this is a real thing. It's happening.
I don't know this person, and I'm not saying that this is a thing at all, but sometimes we look for excuses to to have that first drink or to have that. Well, it's okay because look, I just had my hip thing worked on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I recognize that. I mean,
but and maybe it's, I don't know, like I said, it's in the brain and it's my precious.
Yeah.
And look, it's okay now because look, and I'll reaffirm that it's so bad because look, I'm still in so much pain. And, if I'm still in pain, they'll probably give me more. Mm-hmm. As someone who drinks, that they're like, hey, you're going to have the surgery because alcohol does numb the pain too.
Yeah,
they're
not
like,
the
hey,
same
drink
way, though.
this bottle. I used to have to drink when my sciatica would flare up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would fight through it as much as I could, but it was 24/7 pain. I couldn't sleep. Mm-hmm. The only way I could sleep.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I mean, I think for sure. I'm just, that's the thing is I'm speaking, and at least I have it in me that I can say, listen, I don't know. Like
right.
I can try to walk you through whatever it is that you're, want to, bounce off me or talk about. That's great. I'll listen. But anyway, so what ended up, the conversation ended as I just said, I'd say call your doctor. This was like in the middle of the night. I said I'd recommend just call your doctor in the morning, let them know what's going on. I didn't ask if her doctor knew she was an addict or not. That's really not my business. I mean, I probably could have inquired about it, but at this point I'd already made my statement that I didn't really know exactly what the next thing to do was because I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what I would do. But
if she would have told her doctor that she was addicted to pills, they wouldn't have given her those.
Yeah. I mean, is there different
so
kind?
It's kind of like when you said this before, like you didn't want to admit you're an alcoholic because then that would shut the door on your drinking.
I know.
People from work wouldn't be like, "Hey, Mom,
I know.
let's go
I
have a
said
drink."
that, didn't
and then
I?
there'd be a cute boy, and he'd be like, "Hey, Mom," and he'd be like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah, right. That's exactly why I said that.
But I mean, it's the same thing, And I told my doctors, and man, that shut it down. And then my sciatica, it started like going crazy, and I'm like, "Yo, I need some pills." And they're like,
See,
"Yeah,
but
here's some."
That's
ibuprofen.
like lingering pain. This is like on the spot.
Oh, this is
pain,
on the spot.
pain.
Pain. Sciatica is a mother because I had the herniated disc that was just didn't matter where you sat, how you moved. Nope.
See, would that be pain management?
At a 10.
How do you do pain management? I just told her, I said, just take ibuprofen 600s, and call your doctor in the morning. And I said, what you can do that would make me feel better, because I knew that her sister was taking care of her, and I knew that her sister knew that she was in recovery. All right. I said, just give your sister your pills.
That's a tough one. I broke a rib a few years ago fighting ninjas, protecting this old woman.
Where'd you fall down at?
That's even worse. I coughed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, coughing. I broke rib.
What are you, glass?
And it was crazy because I went to the hospital and I thought it was my liver. I'm pretty sure I shared this story before. And they treated me horrible in the emergency room. They're just like, psh, whatever, you just want pills, And I'm like, no, check my liver, man. I was like, that's seriously all I wanted them to check my liver. Because I had such a pain on my side, and I was like, man, it's probably not good.
You coughed.
I
don't believe you.
Because, yeah. And so the first doctor's like, oh, you got a muscle strain, here's some ibuprofen. I'm like, that's great. And it's just a muscle strain. But the way they were treating me and the way here's your ibuprofen. I never asked for any. I wanted to know if it was my liver. And the pain was still there after a few more days, so I went to another emergency room. They're like, well, clearly you got a broken rib here, man. Oh, thanks. And like, you need to breathe in this machine because this could do this and then that, and it's got to heal. So they put me on the pills. And, of course, I didn't tell them I was an addict. But I took them. It wasn't my thing. And the first bottle ran out, and that's why I was like moving people, and I don't even move people. If you're going to call someone to help you move, you don't call Corey Winfield.
He's being serious when he says that,
people. I have a billionaire name. I don't, but I don't. But I did, and I was doing stuff that normally I wouldn't do, and then I ran out of the pill because I thought I was healed. And then I ran out of those pills, and oh my God, the pain came back. So I called the doctor, and she's like, okay, well, let me give you 30 more days supply, or whatever. And so I did those, started running out of those. Then when I ran out, it was like a really weak alcohol withdrawal. I mean, I say really weak because mine were so intense. But for some people, they could be like, "Oh my god, that was nuts."